spectacular old rain. It is pushing on out, but we'll continue to at least have a few light showers around through this evening and into the early overnight hours. But by tomorrow morning, most of the upstate should be clearing out, and the mountains may see a little bit of wraparound moisture through the day. 34 in Hendersonville, so close to freezing there, but we're well above freezing for most of the upstate, and we'll continue to stay in the 30s as we go into the late night hours. There's 7 p.m. clearing out this evening, and notice we'll have some breaks in the clouds. This is our new high resolution model, and notice at 4 a.m. looking mostly dry, but still a little bit of wraparound moisture will be possible in the mountains. So notice the clearing trend expected for Saturday's 30s to start the day, 50s by the time we get toward the second half of the day. So at least sunshine will end our Saturday. And then we'll be looking ahead to quite a bit of sun as we go through the day on Sunday. Here's a recap of some of those snow totals. In Flat Rock, we saw over 3 inches of snowfall. Highlands, over 2 inches. These were the bigger areas for snow up in western North Carolina. While in Oconee County, we got 1.5 inches near the fishery there. And then around GSP Airport, little over a trace of snow. The reason that it didn't really accumulate much is because the ground was warm and also surface temperatures were above freezing. So it just didn't allow for much of that accumulating snow to happen. But we did see that light dusting on grassy surfaces, things that were raised. But this did come as a shock for many of you, including us in the weather department, because some crazy stuff happened when it came to the atmosphere. I want to pitch it over to Isaac Williams, who's recapping a little bit of what we experienced this morning and what we're learning about it in meteorology.
Yeah, it was a surprise snow event this morning for a lot of us in the upstate, and I'm here to tell you just a little bit more about why and how that exactly happened. Here's a look at the radar and what it was looking like earlier this morning about 9 or 10 o'clock, and it was pouring snow in the Greenville and Spartanburg areas. But I also want to point out that you see that it looks like rain in Easley, when in actuality, at the time that this radar image was taken, it was still snowing. And basically what happened is that the warmer air that we were expecting to be in place, temperatures above 32, we really had it in place. And then what happened, the precipitation was able to fall hard enough that it basically brought down the colder air from above, and eventually we got it to all basically at 32 degrees all the way down to the surface, and that allowed that heavy wet snow to continue to fall into the late morning hours in some cases. But the good news is that the actual ground temperature stayed above freezing the entire time. So if you saw any of this, you saw that yes, it was snowing heavily and it was not forecast, but it was melting on contact, which is some good news. But again, this whole entire process is called dynamic cooling, and most of our computer models really struggle with that. And we'll certainly use this event today going forward. If another system creeps up like this, we'll be extra on guard for any more surprise snow events.
Isaac, thanks so much. And the snow really did come down for some time in the upstate, more in other parts. Fox Carolina's